What's going on YouTube? This is yours truly, DreThePlug, coming at you live with some more technical heat. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button below. Make sure y'all hit that bell button below so y'all can stay notified every single time I drop new technical heat. But let's get back into these interviews. Roll the clip.
Hi everyone, my name is Eduardo and I am the creator of engineeringmemesguy page on Instagram. And I am also one of the founders for Loomis Automation. And today I'm going to be talking about the entrepreneur life with Dre. So I hope you all stay tuned. But before we get into it, just want to talk a little bit about how I got into engineering. Well, first of all, I went to Chico State, graduated as a mechanical engineer in 2014, and I've been working in the industrial automation field for 7 years now. And just 2 years ago, started a business with a group of guys, and want to share some of the stories with y'all.
Okay, Eduardo, so what made you want to jump into the dark side, and go and take the route of being a mechanical engineer? And what made you also want to, become an entrepreneur?
It takes me back to when I was a kid and I was living in Mexico. So from the age 4 to 9, I lived in the state of Jalisco, and I would play in the dirt, right? And there was this one day where I was playing in the dirt. I was building my own city. I was making rivers, and my imagination was going wild. And I remember me wanting to have me building bridges, wanting them to open and close, like wanting to let the boat through, right? So I don't know, that moment just made me realize that I want to make things move, right? And yeah, that I just go back to that moment where I was a kid and just wishing I could make these things move, and now that's literally what I'm doing. So I feel very lucky that as a kid I knew what I wanted to do. Not necessarily I knew I wanted to be an engineer, but I was curious enough to follow this path, which was pretty clear to me.
Okay, so how did becoming a mechanical engineer help you benefit as far as, taking an entrepreneur route?
Yeah, so, it's kind of funny story because I didn't go straight to do some mechanical engineering jobs, right? I went into industrial automation, and the company I worked for was doing all electrical and software systems. We did some mechanical, but not to the level that I wanted, because I wanted to do like manufacturing and design parts, and I love metal and touching things, right? But going into industrial automation threw me in a position where I didn't feel comfortable doing it, right? It was all electrical, all software stuff that I knew I did not want to do in college. Like, I wasn't the best at it. But I want to say about a year, I started getting the hang of it. The workplace I was working at allowed me to play around. For example, if I wanted to build a system, they would buy the parts, and here you go, like, go for it. So in terms of benefits, I didn't see them right away. I did understand concepts that I learned in school, but nothing compared to what I was doing in real life. So really the benefits that I got were just the experience that I got on my previous job. All that really came into play for me to gain that confidence to be able to go on my own. But it's not just knowing the skills, right? I think it's also important that you can communicate, right? Because if you're starting a company, you need to be able to gather your team and communicate with them. It's not only do you need to know how to communicate well, but they also have to think like you, right? Like the entrepreneur mindset. So again, I feel very lucky that I was thrown into this industry, that I met the people that I met, and all the people I met who has helped me have played a big role into this business. Like right now, like one of my business partners, Brett, I met him through my old job, and I remember just having conversations about doing this on our own. So that's kind of how it all started. Mechanical engineering taught me something, but in reality, the hands-on experience was key to going on my own.
All right, so what's something that you did not expect jumping into, being a mechanical engineer and taking the entrepreneurship route after being an engineer?
Some things I did not expect were first starting a company. There's no way I knew that I was going to do that. If anything, I had ideas of what I wanted to do, but I never had an internship either. So I just didn't really expect to go on my own, but in reality, it was just the people around me that pushed me. So yeah, it was just, it was definitely nothing that I planned, and it was definitely unexpected, and I'm just, I don't regret it. If anything, I'm happier, and we'll see what the future looks like. Yeah, just to add to this, just going the entrepreneur route, just how difficult it is too, especially at the beginning when you open a business, you have a location, and the location is empty, so you're just here by yourself, and it feels lonely. It feels like, oh my God, what am I doing? You start thinking about your competition. Not that that's all I do, right? I don't think so much about competition, but you start looking at the companies you're going against, and like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? So it gets a little overwhelming, and you get in your head and you start thinking about, stuff you shouldn't be thinking about, but once the team came together, everything became a lot easier. So yeah, didn't expect it to be this hard.
Okay, Eduardo, so what made you want to, take that leap of faith and just, take the entrepreneur route?
Yeah, about who it really is who drew me into this. It was part of it was my family. It started with one of my cousins who asked me to invest in his business. So I did, and it involved the event industry. So I had some money saved. He came to me with a forecast about the business. Like, he said, if we buy this equipment, then we can cover all these events, right? So it started with an investment first, and with my family, and then so that was my cousin, and then there's my brother and my sister-in-law who also own businesses, and they were doing really well. They're doing really well. So even they started telling me, hey, Eduardo, like, you're doing some good, great things. And I told them, yeah, we can definitely do projects ourselves. Like, we have the confidence to do it. We have the team to do it. So they just kept pushing me. It's like, you should. And yeah, sure enough, they actually helped, with starting it, with the location. They pushed me to do it. So definitely it was my family who pushed me, because there's no way that I was planning this, and and then started with the people I work with too. It wasn't just, oh, go do a business, right? It's like, no, I'm gonna do a business with my experience. So the people that I spoke to were agreeing with me, like, let's go do it ourselves. So we did, and in reality, it was the people around me who drew me to this.
All right, Eduardo, so what got you into creating, this crazy engineering memes page?
Yeah, that story goes back to my college days, when I was actually at a STEM event for MESA programs, if you've heard of them. So MESA stands for Math, Engineering, Science, and Achievement. So we were there for a competition. I was literally sitting down waiting for our students to, go on their competition. In the meantime, I was looking at content. And I remember that there was this meme page on Facebook that I was looking at. And then at that time, Instagram had just started too. So, I was an engineer, and I'm thinking, well, I can create similar content, or if not better. That's really how it all started is just looking at other people's content that had just started on Facebook and thinking that I could do something similar, something that would be hilarious. So I started taking people's ideas and making it into my own and engineering related. So yeah, it started back in 2013, and yeah, it's been 8 years now. So, one thing is just starting it and then seeing the results, which I really enjoyed, like just talking to people and networking and all that. So it just kept me motivated to keep doing it.
So what inspired this legendary logo? Like, is it a like underlying meaning? Is it like a hidden meaning, secret meaning behind the whole logo?
Yeah, the logo has its own story too, right? Einstein is behind that mask, and we made masks cool before everyone wearing masks nowadays. So we've been wearing our masks since 2013. But anyways, yeah, the I remember seeing an Einstein image with a bandana, and I liked it a lot. I'm thinking, oh, gangster Einstein, that sounds funny, and I don't know what people would think, but so what I did is I started using this image initially, but then I started using Photoshop, and what I did is I started making it into my own, right? I kind of went away from the original and started playing around with it. And every time I would change the logo to something else that wasn't this, everybody would start asking, hey, what happened to the logo? Like, who are you? Yeah, they just didn't even recognize it if it wasn't the icon. So yeah, sure enough, like it just stuck around and people love it. People keep asking for it, and we're selling shirts. If you go to my Instagram, you can actually buy this logo on a shirt. So anyone who likes it now can get it. But yeah, it was something that just really just stuck. I thought it was funny initially, but now that became the icon behind the page. So it's legendary for sure now.
So how are you combining your meme page with Loomis Automation?
Yeah, it's actually, that's another reason I actually felt confident that we can market it, right? So having the page actually helps get viewers and not only people to look at our business, but also find talent. So we do ads, like I just post content or repost content from my business, Loomis Automation, into the page, and that's how people start looking at us. And it's been working really well, and we're trying to expand on it too. We don't want to just keep doing the same thing. We hope that we can start bringing more educational videos for people, and really just bring more value for everyone who's interested in engineering. And I hope that makes a difference for people. So yeah, like for example, if we need, we always want to help interns or students, right? So we promote that we have internships, and sure enough, a lot of messages and a lot of people submitting their resumes, and a lot of people come by and visit us. So people are coming here and looking at the stuff that we're doing. It's pretty funny because when Engineering Memes Guy, the actual name, originally it was Engineering Memes, but when I started meeting people, they would say, oh, you're the Engineering Memes Guy. So I figured, oh, I should just call myself Engineering Memes Guy. So yeah, it's pretty cool what happens when you combine this meme page with my business or life and how people see you. It's pretty funny and interesting. I don't social media definitely brings a different way to market a business, and I believe it's getting more and more important to do that. For example, I went to go visit a client earlier, and he did look at our website, but he he found way more value on our Instagram because that's where we're our most active. So for him, it was easy to trust us. He's like, I had people come by and tell us that they do things, but they have no way of proving it. So definitely social media has brought out, more of what we do, and combining that with my page actually just amplifies it, right? To be able to get the viewers, to attract the customers that we want, to attract the talent that we're looking for as well. So super powerful. It's been a great experience so far, and I don't know how many people are actually doing something like this where they're using their platform to start a business. So if there are out there, if you know people like that, like we should connect. I'm curious to see what other people are doing.
So what products are you actually creating? Like, what are you marketing? What are you trying to get the people to actually see that you created?
Yeah, so right now our focus is the development of products, which are in the cannabis industry. Right now we work with high-speed dispense systems for filling cartridges and with cannabis oil. We also have a prototype for joint packing, and we also have a machine for edibles. So we're really deep in the cannabis world out here in California. As you can imagine, as soon as it became legal, it just started booming, and not just in California. We're actually selling products in Michigan. You're from out there, so we have a customer that bought 2 machines from us. So our main focus is the products, the development of products, and that comes really with our time. We're investing into it, and after 2 years we finally have 3 products, which is great. Outside of that, we also do it's called, the term we use is like integration, but we're going away from that, like where you're doing more of the service. We're actually trying to focus on creating our own product and selling them. So yeah, we're going to be sticking to the cannabis industry, and that's one. There are other opportunities that are in the entertainment industry that also involves the development of a product. So we already did that as well. So we have multiple products like here and there. Some of them are not just, they're not our own. They actually are owned by another business, but internally we're actually, smart enough to come up with our own. So, that's kind of our focus right now. It's just cannabis products, anything that involves quantity production, and hopefully we're able to target markets outside of the US. So that's probably in the future. Right now, marijuana is getting legalized in different countries. So how can we tap into other markets? So we're already looking into Mexico, for example, and Canada. So those are big markets for cannabis, and we're trying to see how we can get out there. So maybe I can use this page and maybe target some other countries. But yeah, that's kind of what we're focusing on, and check out the products on our Instagram. You'll see some prototypes and see how they work. We're constantly posting upgrades and showing everybody the improvements. It's all there. We're not lying. They're working. So yeah, that's our focus.
Okay, so what's one thing that you'll like a viewer to take away from Mr. Engineering Memes Guy? Just one thing that you'll want the viewer to know about you before we just close it out.
Yeah, I think if you're a student, I gotta say that I've been in your shoes, and it might seem difficult, like that you're going through school, but that's not the hardest thing. Just letting you know, just stick with it. You're gonna get through it. If you're somebody that's working and is looking into going on their own, I think that just make sure you have a plan, plan it out, make sure that you're networking with people, that the people around you are going to support you, build that support, it's super important to be networking with people, you know, just like the way we are, right? Like send them a DM, you know, send them a message, an email, whatever it is, connect. I think the most important lesson that I've had from being on my own is the team, right? That people around you who make things happen. So talk to people, you know, be more social, get out there and don't be shy. So keep working hard and don't give up.
And that concludes this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really do help my channel when it comes down to the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on the gram at DreThePlug123. And then also go check out my other YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. My first one was called Andre ClassicCuts. I basically go in and give tutorials about all types of different haircuts. I actually show people how to do different type of things with the clippers that has never been done, and I pretty much go into detail as to why certain things happen. So definitely go check out that channel. Besides that, be on the lookout for my next content that's dropping. Be on the lookout for it because it's coming real soon. And I'm out.